Hey everyone, welcome back to LOD Tech. My name is Clayton, and today we're going to be looking at the MSI MAG321CQR. So a few things that we have to talk about right off the hop are the specs. This is a 32-inch, 31.5-inch effective screen. It has a 1440p resolution with 144 Hz refresh rate. It has a 1 millisecond motion response time, and it has AMD FreeSync. It has one DisplayPort 1.2/1.4. We'll get back to that. It has two HDMI 2.0. It has one USB-D connection to plug into your computer and two USB Type A's that you can plug in other peripherals for. The monitor is curved. It has an 1800R curvature on it, which I personally like, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. The monitor is adjustable. It has height adjustment, and it also has tilt up and tilt down adjustment, but there is no swivel adjustment on it. The monitor also has RGB on the back of the monitor, and you can see in the footage that I'm showing on the screen right now, it's actually not bad. It's actually pretty nice to see in a dark room. Now let's talk about the display. The display of this monitor is phenomenal. The blacks on it are very inky. The detail that it shows at the 1440p resolution is pretty good, and it's just one of the nicest looking monitors I've ever seen. The monitor has 300 nits of brightness according to the website, but on the box itself it actually only shows that it has 250 nits of brightness. Not sure which one is true, but having been that I did the calibration on it, the highest I was able to achieve was 264. So I would tend to believe it's only 250 nit. The monitor does come with some issues out of the box. It is not calibrated very well and needs to be calibrated. If you have a calibration tool or if you know someone that has one, I would definitely recommend you get that done on the monitor. After calibration, the monitor had a delta E of 0.6, and the gamma was 2.2. So in those respects, after calibration, it was pretty spot on for color wise. As for the uniformity, it is a curved monitor, so the center of the screen is really good uniformity wise, but as you get out to the outer edges, the uniformity falls off a little bit, especially when you're doing your measurement on a grayscale. The outside edges do get a little bit more muddier. As for this monitor and using it for production or productivity, I think it's one of the best monitors I've ever used personally. It allows me to do my editing work on it. It allows me to watch movies. It is an all-around good monitor. As for gaming, I would say that it is definitely a good gaming monitor, being that it has 144 Hz refresh rate with a 1440p resolution. The one problem I have with the monitor is that it shows that it's FreeSync compatible, that it has FreeSync, AMD FreeSync. And as of driver from NVIDIA 417.35, that feature should be able to be used with the NVIDIA card. Now I have a 1070 Ti, and whenever I try to turn it on, and I'll show you on the screen right now, whenever I try to turn on G-Sync compatibility, I'll click on the one box and I'll click on the second box, and then I'll go down and I'll hit apply. And when that happens, the screen just reverts back, it unchecks the box, and it will not turn G-Sync on. So I don't believe this monitor has a proper implementation of FreeSync because it won't even turn on G-Sync compatibility. Having said that, I did try an RX 580 with this monitor, and these are the results. If you can see on your screen right now from the windmill test, it's not very good. There's a lot of tearing and clipping and overshoot, and it just doesn't look very good. So I don't think that the actual FreeSync in this monitor is working very well. And having said that, some people might say, well, that's just the one monitor and, it's a one-off. Well, it's not. This is actually my second monitor. I've returned the first one because I was having these issues, and I was having one other issue where the refresh rate would drop from 144 down to 120, and I don't believe it was a proper 120 because I would get this rainbow effect, and I'll show you that on the screen right now as well. This monitor is very good. It is, this monitor, the second one that I got, is very good. It has all the features that I want. The only thing that it's missing is the FreeSync compatibility or the G-Sync compatibility and FreeSync working properly. Now, if you don't use those features, and obviously I can't use those features because I'm not going to revert over to a 580 from my 1070 Ti, is you don't really need to use it. It's mostly for tearing and to sync the screen. And if you're not having a lot of tearing issues, then you shouldn't have to have any issues. The huge selling point on this monitor is the actual clarity and the actual visual quality of the screen. Watching movies on this, playing video games, and even doing productivity work like editing videos, this monitor is pretty amazing, and it's really accurate color-wise. It's maybe not as accurate as an IPS because it's it's a curved VA panel, but at the end of the day, this panel is a really outstanding panel. So the monitor has an on-screen app that you can use to adjust things like response time. You can add crosshairs on it to your games. You can use the FreeSync option to turn on and off. Of course, it doesn't work, so it won't really matter. And then it also has things like split screen where you can put two different applications on the screen at the same time. And it has a third one for tools that helps you click on, so you can change your mouse cursor and stuff like that in there. It's an actual pretty good app, and you can go in it and change just about everything that you have on the screen for the OSD. Then you don't have to use the joystick on the back. The monitor has an OSD that is activated by a joystick on the back of the monitor. The joystick is a 5-way joystick. It goes up, down, left, right, and push in to select. The OSD on-screen display is your typical OSD display. It's well put together, and you can go through any of the options that the monitor has. The one option that the monitor does not have available is gamma. The gamma setting is kind of linked to a thing called darkness, and you can select it in there. But other than that, there's not really a gamma selecting. But you would have all your usual things in there like red, green, blue, brightness, contrast, sharpness, response time, fast, normal, fast, faster, FreeSync, motion blur, reduction. There's a whole host of features in the OSD, and it's quite the good OSD. We were talking earlier about the fact that it had a DisplayPort 1.2/1.4. Now on their website, it shows that the OSD is in two different places. It shows it as either 1.2 or 1.4. I tend to believe that it's a 1.4 DisplayPort, but I'm not really sure 100%. And maybe that's why the GeForce compatibility is not working. It could be a 1.2, and that's why it's not working. I don't know for sure, though, but the website definitely shows that there's two different ones. So I'm going to put a couple images up of me playing some games right now. And the only two games that I'm really into at the moment are Division 2, Tom Clancy's Division 2, and World of Warships. Both games kind of show you what kind of visual quality you can get. And I'm just going to do kind of a over-the-shoulder view of this as I'm playing the games. I'm not really great at Division 2. I do play Fortnite and Apex Legends, but I'm not really good at those, and showing you guys how terrible I am at those games, probably not the best idea. But having said that, I might go back in after I'm done shooting this video and maybe throw in an Apex Legends, just a over the shoulder view of that. But the monitor looks fantastic while playing these games. There is a few other features the monitor has, like overdrive, where you can move the response time of the monitor faster and faster. But as I've seen in video games and even just on web pages, if you move it to fast, you'll get a little bit of overshoot. So you'll start seeing some kind of dark shadows on white lines and stuff like that as it moves around. And then when you go to fastest, it's completely noticeable. It's like having a second dark line next to whatever white on the screen. So though that overdrive doesn't work very well, I would recommend keeping it on normal because it looks better that way and there's no overshoot at all. The monitor itself, like I said, once it's calibrated, is absolutely fantastic to look at. I would give it a 4 out of 5, and definitely give it a recommendation for my anybody watching this video. If you need AMD FreeSync, maybe you might want to look somewhere else. And maybe, who knows, maybe MSI will come out with a firmware upgrade for this monitor and the FreeSync will start working with G-Sync compatibility. But as it sits right now, the RX 580 and the GTX 1070 Ti, both of them don't work. Alright guys, that's the end of the video for the MSI Optix MAG321CQR. Let me know what you think in the comments. Give me a thumbs up if you like the content. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. And like always, subscribe in the bottom right if you haven't already. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.